welcome to the Giraffe Social Media Podcast. It's what social media managers are talking about. I'm Caitlin McKenzie, and today I'm joined by some brilliant members of the Giraffe team. We've got social media manager Nicole.
Hey guys.
And senior social media manager Dom.
Hello everyone.
So in today's group chat episode, we're going to be talking about how to crack Christmas on social. And we're going to be looking at some brands that we think are doing this really well. And yeah, really unpacking it for you on today's episode. But before we get started, it's time for our team question. Now, this was going to be something really Christmassy, but I have seen something on social media which I just need to discuss. So it's taking precedent. Now, I mean, I've said before, I'm not a TikTok person. I'm too old, I think. But some things have happened on TikTok which have filtered down onto the other social media networks like Twitter and stuff. And I've seen basically that there's this thing going around that people can't unfocus their eyes. And I'm just shook. So it's been going around and it's really been dividing people because 50% of people can and other people can't do it. And everyone is like shook that the other group even exists. So I just want to ask you guys, as the internet is abuzz with it, can you unfocus your eyes? Do you even know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I'm slightly confused and sort of like, what do you mean by that? Do you mean like go like I'm cross-eyed and then I just like uncross-eyed?
Yeah, kind of like you kind of go a bit cross-eyed, but you can just make everything go blurry.
Yeah, I can do
I
that.
feel like I need to try it now.
I just take off my glasses and everything's all blurry. So yeah.
Do you think you can do it, Nicole?
I think I can. Now I'm questioning myself.
No, I mean, if you think you can, you can. But I saw, I can't remember who it was on Twitter, but someone shared a TikTok that had been going around and everyone was just mental about it. But apparently a lot of people can't do that. And everyone's saying if you can do it, it means that you've got this or it means that you're this or whatever. But I don't think it does. I just think maybe people don't know what it is being meant.
I saw something on Facebook actually. I don't know if it's the same thing, but there's like a load of like spirals or something onto an image, and then there's like a hidden image within it. I think it's Marilyn Monroe is in it, and like it's so weird because you focus on it and you can't see it, but then if you slightly look away or you slightly go unfocused to make sure you're not actually focusing on one particular object, you can sort of see the image, but then it's very difficult to see the hidden image. But when you do, you're like, oh my god, wait, what? Now I can't see it again.
They literally drive me mad. I think I can't remember one brand like picked up on that was going around. I think it was maybe Monzo, and like you had to put your phone screen right up to your eyes and like pull it away really slowly, and it said something like they were launching something. It was quite a cool way to do it, and I mean it made me hold the tweet right up to my face. But yeah, I'm not very good at seeing the hidden image, so I get frustrated and I just go away from it. There was a similar thing that went around on TikTok, which was about whether or not you have a voice in your head. Like if you read a book, can you hear the words? Or like can you like say something to yourself in your head in a French accent? Can you guys do that?
I definitely hear my own voice and read in my voice. I think. This whole episode is just making me question everything I've ever known.
Oh, sorry, I don't want to give you an existential crisis. How about you, Dom? Do you have like that voice in your head? Not in like a medical way.
I always have that voice in my head, telling myself how great I am, I'm joking.
Sounds like yeah, okay, sure. I think we're all quite similar then, but I've met people that don't have that voice in their head. They're like, what? Whoa. What do you mean that you like you can look in the mirror and think something to yourself, but like actually hear the words, or you can visualize an image, like you could think of a picture of a house. A lot of people can't do that. And
So what do they do then instead? They actually like physically talk to themselves, surely?
Yeah, I think so. Or they they think it, but there's no like sort of palpable thing. Like they can't see an image of a house in their head. They just can think about a house, but they can't sort of think about it. I don't know. The more I think about it, I'm like, can I even do this? I don't even know.
But yeah, when you're thinking to yourself, are you actually having a conversation with yourself, or are you just sort of like, spitting out like notes, if you know what I mean? You're not actually having a full-on conversation. unless you are. I don't know.
I feel like we could get really deep into this,
You could.
but anyway. So Christmas is coming, and obviously, it's a very big time for a lot of businesses. I think a lot of businesses, especially this year, more than most, are having to put quite a lot of pressure on their Christmas performance. So it's quite interesting to see what different brands are doing on social media. Some aren't doing anything, some are doing some quite cool stuff. So, have you, Dom, noticed any brands that you want to tell us about? Like you're into what they're doing?
Yeah, I love the Foot Asylum Christmas advert with Harry Redknapp. It's just brilliant. So brilliant. He just walks in with his Christmas pudding and, oh, Sandra, why can't we have jam roly polies? You know, he loves jam roly polies, you know, the I'm a Celebrity days. And then suddenly all these like other celebrities like crash into their house, obviously promoting all like trainers and tracksuits and whatnot. And it's just brilliant. And then you just see like an image of Harry Redknapp in just like full on tracksuit, just looking like an absolute, you know, G, I guess you could say. And I just love it. It's just like tradition is boring, and it's just them trying to, I don't know, I guess, do something different, if you know what I mean. It's brilliant. I love it. I absolutely love it. So it makes you laugh and it makes you want to watch it again. And I think you're winning with a Christmas ad if you can do that, if you can sort of bring out someone's emotion. You're not just, doing just like a generic salesy sort of ad. If you're actually doing something that's quite creative, especially when you get, celebrities involved. And it's just brilliant. And you've even got his wife Sandra in a full-on tracksuit. It's just brilliant. I keep saying the word brilliant because it generally is great.
I love that. And I think anything that make you really talk about it is like that's good marketing, right? If they can take it off the page or off the TV or off the phone and like actually we're talking about it right now. So yeah, I think that's
Yeah.
awesome.
I mean, Harry Redknapp has, ever since he was on I'm a Celeb and started talking about jam roly polies, he's just done other adverts, hasn't he? And it's always his
Yeah.
thing now. It's what he's sort of known for. Like, you sort of forget that he was a football manager and he did all these great things. No, he's known for liking jam roly polies now.
That sounds like a good one. Have you guys seen the Papa John's advert this year?
Oh
It's
no.
kind of like the complete opposite, but I still think it's really good. They sort of, instead of going for the big budget Christmas advert, they stripped it down and it's just like a stop motion advert with one of their pizza boxes with like handwritten notes. And it's because they wanted to put all the money they would have spent on the Christmas advert, but put it towards a charity instead, which I
Oh,
think was
wow.
really sweet. And it kind of made me look up at my TV when there wasn't any voiceover or no Christmas music. And it's just a really quick advert, but it says, instead of the usual advert this year, we wanted to donate it. I think it's to like the Trussell Trust.
Okay.
But I thought that was a really sweet advert.
Wow, that's really nice. I love it when a brand can like give that moment over. I mean, obviously, look, it is good for brand sentiment. It's made you love Papa John's a little bit more, obviously. If that was possible to do, I'm a big fan of the pizzas. But yeah, I think that's really nice
Although I
to
do
do.
prefer Domino's, I have to say.
Controversial.
I'm trying to think of any other pizza brands that can compete. Pizza Hut, is that even in the running?
I
Maybe
don't think so.
No.
Not to be rude, but okay. Well, one that I've seen that I really, really liked was Walkers. I don't know if you've seen the TV ad on telly, but it's there too. But I've noticed it on Facebook. They've done a lot. So they partnered with Lad Baby, who were that really famous like married couple with kids who just prank each other and just generally hilarious. So this I would say is like one of the strongest and biggest profile maybe influencer sort of partnerships that I've seen in a while. I would love to know what their fee was, but that's by the by. But yeah, they I think Dom, you were telling me that like Lad Baby was famous last year for like a song or something. It's completely gone over my head, but
Yeah, they got the Christmas #1, didn't they? With singing about sausage rolls, I believe, pretty much. Which is
I do not know
great.
how I missed that. Well, they've obviously capitalized that on this year, and Walkers have got involved because they're celebrating Crispmas, which is a pun very close to my heart, I think. And they've got the Lab Baby account to announce to their 5 million Facebook followers on their account this new sausage roll flavor of crisps just for the festive period, which is really exciting. They've just done a really strong campaign. Also, I think in support of the Trussell Trust as well, which is quite interesting. That's a really
Ah.
popular one. And they've got some really strong like hashtags. So it's like a sausage carol. So it's like, well, maybe carol. I don't know how you pronounce that, but like the roll, the sausage roll is like capitalized. Maybe it's not that strong if I have to explain it that much. Yeah, I just think it's really good. Although I thought it was really interesting that they Walkers like aren't active on Instagram, which is weird
Oh,
for like
really?
such a big brand. Yeah, because I saw it on their Facebook, and then I scrolled back, and there's a big gap between like October when they were posting about Monster Munch to this Christmas campaign. So yeah, they don't post all the time, which I think's interesting. And yeah, they haven't posted on Instagram in a really long time. So maybe
Mm.
that says quite a lot about their target audience that they're just using Facebook. But
Mm.
anyway, have you seen any others that you like, Dom?
Well, just on the Walkers thing, I think it's really interesting that they've utilized. I think it's a great campaign, and they've utilized, not your normal influencer, I guess, that you would normally
Mm,
go to. And I think utilizing their platform is brilliant. But I do wonder, does the sausage roll flavor, is that actually going to taste nice? So I
mm.
think I guarantee a lot of people will buy into it. Whether actually it tastes good, who knows?
Yeah, although I
Mm.
want to try it.
I
So
do.
therefore, has it worked? Because I'm gonna
It's
go buy that packet of crisps.
Yeah.
it's clearly worked. Clearly worked.
I don't think there's anything more Christmassy, and correct me if I'm wrong, than a festive meal deal from like a co-op or somewhere. Do you know what I mean? That you get the
Mm.
Christmas sandwich, a Christmas flavor crisp, maybe a nice like. Oh, Dom is fully on board.
Fully on board. Fully on board.
Yeah, so I guess if I was to do that again, I mean, we don't really get the same opportunities to do that in 2020, but I would definitely probably pick up some sausage roll crisps. So points to Walkers.
Well, I mean, you mentioned like the buyout fees there, like the negotiation fees that would have
Mm.
happened. There must have been a war between Walkers and Greggs, right? Surely Greggs would have wanted
Mm.
to be on that sausage roll hype. But it's interesting that Walkers are the one that got to them.
Yeah,
Mm.
absolutely. Oh
Mm.
yeah, oh, I
Right?
love
And
knowing the
that's
politics
what
and
I'm
stuff.
thinking. I know,
Mm.
I know. Although, Dom, not to overtake what you were going to say, but I have noticed Greg's have done some cool stuff on social media this year. I don't know. I think
Oh.
it was a couple weeks ago they had a collaboration with PlayStation. Not that I'm much of a gamer or know anything about it, but I'm pretty sure there's a new PlayStation out. But they
There
have,
is.
I think.
I
Okay,
can
there is. Okay,
confirm
good.
there is.
I'm getting nods. And they had like some sort similar to what you were saying, Caitlin, some like festive deal in collaboration with PlayStation. I think it was only available for like a week, but I just think that's genius with how many people will be Googling PlayStation in the coming weeks, and Greg's can somehow ride that train. I mean, great publicity. And Greg's are such a famous brand for doing like quirky things on social
Mm.
media. So somehow it works. I don't know how. But I think they were doing like a sort of typical giveaway campaign on Instagram, and they came out with a couple of gifts that you can search on Instagram stories related to Greg's and all that kind of stuff. I think is what makes them often stand out. Like,
Mm.
how is Greg's doing so well on social media? They just come up with these really cool creative ideas, and it's awesome.
Well,
Yeah,
yeah.
round of applause to the social media team over at Greg's.
Yeah, yeah.
Talking PlayStation 5, it is the
Mm.
PlayStation 5 that was out. Yeah,
Okay.
what they've been doing to launch it has been great. Like, I don't know if you saw it, but they did something to do with London Underground, I believe, and they had
Mm.
their symbols of their like consoles, like the triangle, the X, the circle,
Oh, I
and the
saw this.
square, and they had that like sort of all over London Underground stations, I believe it was.
Yeah.
That's amazing. You think the amount of people, that are normally walking through there anyway, COVID and all that.
Mm.
But yeah, and not only will people see that face to face, but people shared it online, and they're gonna get the buzz on social media, and people are gonna go and want to go see it. So just in general, marketing wise, PlayStation 5 smashed it, and it shows because they pretty much, it's so hard to get your hands on one.
Yeah, just that campaign that you were talking about with the physical sort of advertising that they did. I know they definitely had it in like Oxford Circus, like they had
That's the one, yeah.
like the X, and instead of the traditional like underground logo. I liked that it was, I know we talked about it on our like one of our channels online, and some people like didn't get it, but I feel like it's quite nice when things like that happen, because that does something to a PlayStation fan or someone who's in the loop a little bit. Like you see it and you recognize it and you're like, oh my God, that's so good. And I get it. Like, do you know what I mean? I feel like it does a nice little thing to boost like the club, the PlayStation club. That
Like a bit of fan service, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like also, and then if they see it, they like it, they understand it, they post about it on social media because they think it's really clever and they're clever for getting it, then there's like a ripple effect. And obviously someone posted about it on social media. Like, I haven't been to Oxford Circus this year, but that's how I know about it. So yeah, I think it's really cool, like you say.
I want to give a little shout out to Marmite. Saw a little ad pop up on my Facebook, and I don't know, I quite liked it. So basically it says, know someone who's been naughty or nice this year, give them a gift they'll love or hate. So I just love how they played, it's the standard, you either love Marmite or you hate it. Have you been naughty? Have you been nice? Give that person, the gift if they've been naughty. Give them something they hate if they hate Marmite. I just love it. And like you can personalize your Marmite jar. It even says on the jar itself, like coal for being naughty and presents for being nice. I just thought it was really cool.
That's really cool. I think we talked about on a Halloween episode, they did something similar for Halloween, like trick or treat. So that tagline is just the gift that keeps on giving for Marmite. They are like doing the most with like limited like resource. I think that's really clever too. I like that it's so customizable.
I wonder if they repurpose that every year.
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see now. They'll probably find a way to like, okay, how can we make the same thing work for Valentine's? Like love me or love me not. Oh, there you go.
Oh, there you
You heard it here first. Okay, well, another one that I've seen that I really like was American Express. They again have done something quite nice from TV across socials. It's been quite cohesive, which we like to see. And they've been really celebrating small businesses, which is really nice and poignant in 2020. And it's all about like this season, shop small. And what they're doing is they're like incentivizing cardholders to shop at small businesses, and then they get £5 back when they spend £10 or more in a single transaction. I think there's probably a limit to that, but it's still quite nice, and I guess it's sort of like everyone wins in that scenario. Obviously, Amex win for people using their card, small businesses win because you go there instead of like Amazon, and I guess the cardholder wins. So I think it's a really nice initiative, and they've just created some really, really nice like social videos. It's quite simple. A lot of it's very like graphics focused, but it's nice. It's like clear and effective. And I think sometimes it doesn't have to be like shiny and amazing and involve loads of influencers. It can just be like have a nice sentiment at its heart. Like so, and they've got a strong hashtag as well, which is hashtag shop small UK. So I guess businesses can use that to participate, and people can use it to celebrate themselves making those purchases. So I really like that, and they're doing it across, I think, all of their socials, which is quite nice, and obviously on TV too. So yeah, I like that.
That's a nice one. I noticed Google, I think, were doing something similar. I think they were encouraging people to leave reviews. I think like encouraging people to go to small businesses, leaving reviews, and I thought that was really nice as well, actually, because it's a cool thing that Google does offer, and people do look at those reviews. So the fact that they can promote that, I thought was really nice.
Yeah, I saw that on Twitter actually with Sheridan Smith and eating chips.
Yeah.
They had Anthony Joshua as well, didn't they? Going into like local restaurants and stuff like that.
Yeah, I've seen that like sponsored on Twitter a lot. Like I think they're putting quite a lot of like budget into that, because I see the Sheridan Smith is on my timeline all the time, to the point where I've even also seen people tweeting screenshots of Sheridan Smith saying like, I've seen this woman more than I've seen my own family this year, like tone it down, which is
To
quite
be
funny.
fair, like what better way, like what Google are doing are brilliant, but what better way for Google to get even more smaller businesses using, Google
Exactly.
reviews and stuff like that.
Mhm.
So
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Definitely. People are being very clever this year, aren't they? Like, here's an ad campaign that you're going to enjoy, but also there's myriad benefits. But hey, I mean, why not? That's what marketing's about, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And the last one that I've got to share is just a cute little one. Is Disney Plus UK. I mean, they've been sharing loads of really nice content. I think there is a TV advert as well, but they've been like going through the archives of what they can show, and there's different like there's clips from That's So Raven of Corey singing Deck the Halls and things like that, just really nostalgic and enjoyable content. But also what they've done is they've commissioned this award-winning cake maker to build a gingerbread house of Kevin McAllister's house from Home Alone, which
I
is
love that.
iconic. Yeah, apparently it's the 30th anniversary. So to celebrate, award-winning cake designer Michelle Waboa, apologies if I pronounced that incorrectly, has created this gigantic gingerbread house, and it's really, really like perfectly spot on. Go check it out on their Instagram, and there's even like the little van out the front that the back guys come in, and yeah, it's great. Big fan. I just love a bit of heartwarming content. That's what we like to see.
Yeah, I love that.
So will they end up eating it, or?
That's a good question. I feel like that has to go in a museum or something, right? Dom's like, no, it's for eating.
It's for eating.
Amazing. Well, when do you guys think is like the right time to start planning campaigns for Christmas? Because I know this year's been very different, but when do you think is like you should really like start putting the pedal to the metal for Christmas stuff?
Yeah, I mean, personally, as soon as you possibly can, like the earlier you are organized and you have it all ready to launch, the better. Saves any sort of, confusion to the end, faffing around, stress, or the hassle, last minute trying to organize Christmas. You should have it all prepared, way in advance, at the very least, well, I'm gonna say like by October at least, but even way before that, if and bigger brands do, probably way before the summer, springtime, they're probably already thinking about Christmas. Yeah, the sooner you can get organized with it, the better, and less hassle for yourselves.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we all know, as social media managers, we all know how crazy December is in general. So having all of your Christmas content planned ahead of time is just going to make your life so much easier. So definitely as soon as you can. I would say maybe October, like latest, right? Maybe when you're starting to think about Halloween, you can start planning ahead for Christmas. Make sure all of your posts sort of correlate with your sales. If you have any Christmas discounts, make sure you're promoting those. I think October latest is going to be my stance there.
Yeah, I think I would agree with you guys, because I don't know if you experience this too, but like stress is the biggest killer of creativity, right? So, and I would say from October onwards, that's when stuff starts getting serious. You have to start thinking about Black Friday, Cyber Monday, that kind of thing. There's Thanksgiving, and then of course there's the Christmas rush. So I think, yeah, the more time you can give yourself in advance to start thinking about like creative campaigns, hashtags, what you can afford to do discount wise, I think the better. I know I've worked for businesses in the past and we've started thinking about Christmas in like June, July. But that is when there's like stuff that has to be shot. So it depends what scale you're like operating on. But I think, yeah, I think it's good to have a long range view no matter what time of year. So surely like if you're working with like an editorial calendar, know what's in the next 2-3 months. So yeah, I think worst case scenario, like, well, not worst case scenario, we'll get onto that, but October is a good like sit down, have a big Christmas meeting if you haven't already with your like team. So I guess following on from that, is it too late to start now? I'm sure maybe there's the odd SM out there or like business owner like, oh god, it's Christmas in a couple of weeks, I need to post on social media.
Yeah, you're stressing me out just thinking about it.
I'm really sorry.
Too late at this point in time? No. Too
Mm.
late. I mean, it depends how. I guess it depends how strong your brand is, you know. But yeah, if you were going to start posting about Christmas, I mean, maybe and like sales, for example, from like the 23rd, then maybe you are a bit late, especially for like delivery. If that's what you're,
Mm.
you know, you are a product based and you are, you know, delivering very late for that. Um, yeah, no, I don't think it's too late at this point in time. You know, I would just recommend that if you're looking to get something out, definitely start planning as, you know, now, and yeah, really think about, you know, what you're going to be putting out there. Try to make it, you know, fun, festive. Try not to come across too salesy, too generic.
What about you, Nicole? Is it too late?
Yeah, I think I agree with you, Dom. It's never too late to share the Christmas spirit, but if you are trying to plan ahead to save yourself the stress, maybe you are too late for that. But just getting involved in any kind of Christmassy post, you know, even if you don't post that regularly, just having some sort of content plan to celebrate Christmas, especially this year of all years. I think everyone needs a little festive spirit. So I wouldn't say it's too late. No, I'm
Even if
trying to
you're
stay
No.
just looking,
positive here.
even if you're just looking to get a post out on Christmas Day, like,
Hmm.
you know, don't stress yourself out having to do it on the actual day. You know, do it, get it all scheduled up now, so it's all ready to go. You know, and you don't have to worry about it. Just say a Merry Christmas, you know, to all our followers. Thank you, and blah blah blah. You know, yeah,
Mm.
don't worry about it. Just get it done in advance, organized. You know.
Hmm. Yeah, I would agree with you both. And one thing I found quite interesting when I was having a little look around ahead of this podcast to see what people were up to brand wise on social, I was surprised a lot of people haven't posted anything Christmassy yet. Like a
Mm.
lot of big brands aren't doing it. Like especially on Instagram, there's not a lot of really Christmassy stuff on the feed. Obviously, some businesses are, some businesses aren't. But I think if you haven't quite caught up yet, you are not that far behind the curve. I think especially this
Mm.
year, like a lot of businesses maybe don't have the specifically shot Christmassy content that they want to post, so maybe they're not posting anything. But yeah, I think you guys are right. Something is better than nothing. Even if you can just repurpose content with a sort of festive effect, kind of like a nice tasteful snowflake here and there. Oh, who knows? Evidently, I'm not a graphic designer, but you know what I mean. Like something Christmassy is good, and I also think it's important to do something this season because more than ever, like being on social media is like a credibility check. So if people are going to look you up, they need to, if they want to interact with your business, especially if you're product based, they want to see that you're maybe alive and kicking, and that you are still doing something. And I think if you're posting on social media, your business is obviously operational, and I think it's just a good thing, a good way to sort of, yeah, show that you're credible, show that you're active, and also it's another route of communication with the
Mm.
customer, whether that's like sales or like providing information about a product. If someone can just comment and you can reply to that comment, if you're active, if you've got a few Christmassy posts out there, they know that they can come and do that, and that might like bring in a couple extra sales, which I'm sure everyone could do with. So if it isn't too late, posting wise, what about like ad campaign wise? Do you guys have any ideas of anything maybe a product focused business could do to try and just generate a little bit more and really capitalize on Christmas while they still can?
Yeah, I think it's the perfect opportunity, you know, especially like you said for product based companies. If you've been generating an audience for the last couple of months, you know, the idea is to get sales, and this is the perfect time to be doing it. You want to
Mm.
ensure that in terms of targeting, that you are targeting a high intent audience. So by that can be, you know, website retargeting. So that's targeting people that have been on your website prior. So that means that they've already shown an interest. So they are more likely already know about your brand and more likely to want to come back to your website if show an ad to them and hopefully convert and make a purchase. You know, utilize your list of emails if you have them. You can create, you know, retargeting based on that. You know, email campaigns. Anyone that's previously added to cart, and obviously this is all, well, most of this anyway, in terms of website retargeting, you would need to have a pixel on your website to be able to do these sort of things. But yeah, that's what I would say is definitely vital for this time of year, is just make sure you're homing in on those audiences that have already shown an interest, because they're the ones that they're going to be the most effective audience. They're the ones that are more likely to convert. And yeah, you'll probably get a better, return on ad spend and return on investment in general for that.
Yeah, I completely agree. Like, you're giving those people a reminder, if they have like maybe been on your website or they're on your mailing list, targeting them with something at this time of year, like maybe it's particular, you're running some sort of Christmas deal, something that could like just tip them over the edge into converting, then I think it's definitely worth trying. Yeah, I think another thing is it might be worth just increasing your promoted post activity at this time, especially if you are going to put out like 3 or 4 Christmassy posts, if you've got a Christmas sale on, if you are doing some sort of fun Christmas campaign that you want people to know about, you've got a limited amount of time before that's irrelevant. So I think promoting those sort of organic posts, I mean, obviously advertising rules permitting, it's always worth checking in with your advertising rules before running any ads. But yeah, I think it's worth showing that content because you've worked hard on it. You might as well get the bigger reach as possible and use it as to build awareness at this time. And then maybe those people don't convert, but they are in your sales funnel then. So maybe into next year, and maybe by next Christmas, they'll be at the bottom of your sales funnel, and everything will be magical. I did see some one bit of interesting research, if you'll permit me a statistic, on edited HQ, a really great retail analysis company, and they did a little bit of analysis on Black Friday this year, and said that most retailers favored like 60 to 70% discounts, but the interesting result that they found was that the biggest sellout, so like if a discount was applied and that product sold out, the most that happened in category wise was like 50 to 60%. So it kind of shows that if like crazy discounts aren't necessarily what people are looking for. I don't know if you guys would maybe agree, but whenever I see like 70% off something, I think, well, it probably wasn't worth that original price if they can afford to give it to me at that cut price. And maybe it's not worth it. I don't know.
Yeah. I definitely don't trust any big discounts. I think on Black Friday, when all of the fashion brands were doing like ridiculous discounts, like up to 99% off, I'm like, I'm not going to filter through all of the possible discounts I could get. I'd much rather see a post that's like 20% off using this code and doing that. Maybe it's too chaotic for me, but I just don't trust it if I see crazy big discounts.
Yeah, I agree completely. And you're right. I hate it. A site-wide discount sounds great, but in practice, oh my goodness. Yeah, like it's hard because even then if you're filtering like low to high, that's still not helpful. Yeah, I'd say like I know it's a bit too late for a Black Friday tip, but this probably applies to like Boxing Day and stuff, which I guess we'll touch on in a second. Is like have a wish list in advance, like know what you need to buy in advance. So then when Black Friday comes around or Boxing Day comes around, you can see if those products have discounts, and then you're saving money as opposed to just spending money for the sake of it. But yeah, I sound like Martin Lewis and the guy with TV.
Money saving expert.
Well, that brings us to our final kind of segment for this episode, and I just want to pull together like our key takeaways, not to sound too corporate, but 3 things I think each of us think you can really apply and take forward to if you're a social media manager or a small business owner or such. What's something like a real tip that you would give? Like, Nicole, what do you think you would recommend?
Yeah, definitely. I think just not forgetting the social posts on the key dates like Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, Boxing Day, New Year's Eve. Don't think that people won't care or your business shouldn't get involved. I think any kind of post like that is a great way just to show your celebration, show your business is getting involved, and I think that's just nice and festive. So just making sure that maybe you've got those posts done in advance. If you're using any sort of scheduling software, just have those ready to go so you can enjoy your Christmas and also just have a nice little festive post out there for your followers.
Yeah, I would agree. I think mine follows on pretty much directly from yours. Would be plan in advance, and if you haven't already thought about like capitalizing on that Boxing Day rush, like, I mean, I'm sure there's plenty of statistics out there about people using social media to look for discounts, people like going online to search for Boxing Day deals. I think if you are a product based business, or you can think of something to do to try and drive business post Christmas, it's good to sort of think about that now, get it written down, get it planned, design some content, get it scheduled, and then relax. Like, you deserve a good Christmas this year. Like, 2020 has been rough. So it's good to like make the most of this festive period, plan what you can in advance, and then just give yourself a break.
Yeah, I would say targeting, like really just home in
Mm.
on sort of like the audience, have a look through the insights, make sure that you are utilizing the budget that you have, especially if you're running ads, to really home in on, the people that are, engaging with your business and your key demographics, people that have previously purchased in terms of like the age range, and really utilize that to get the most out of your budget. I think that's definitely at this time of year, is definitely essential.
I think that's a great tip. And I think it's instinct to advertise to as many people as possible, but ultimately you're going to be wasting your money. And I know, especially on LinkedIn and on Twitter, bigger isn't necessarily better in terms of marketing, because you're going to waste money reaching people who aren't relevant. So yeah, Dom, I completely agree. I think really narrowing down your targeting is cool, and especially in like sort of organic, like community management kind of stuff. Maybe you don't have an ad spend. If you are going to go out and try and reach new people, sit down and think about who your core customer is, and then try and find them, because they're out there. Okay, well, thanks so much, guys. That is all we've got time today. Thank you to everyone for listening. Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss our next episode. You can also connect with us on all major social channels and let us know what you thought about today's episode. Can you unfocus your eyes? Please tell me. I'm very curious to know. And of course, if you have any opinions on anything Christmassy, we would love to know. We've been through our social media. You've been amazing. We'll see you next time.